Oh, you know it. You love it. You're here for some indie wrestling talk, and we're going all the way over to New Zealand to talk about our friends at IPW. Yes, we're going to be talking about the Eliminator 2025. It's going to be a blast here on Ring Respect Radio, and that means, boom, it's Thursday night. It's party time with us. If you don't know so already, we're the Video Bros. My name is Bobby Munson, the man sitting over to the side of me, right over there. He's the man with the angelic voice. He's Papa Smokes. Papa Smokes, happy Thursday. How you doing, brother?
Ooh, I'm doing great, Munson. Happy Thursday to you, to all the wrestling people out there, and to all the fans of Ring Respect Radio. How y'all doing tonight?
Oh, hopefully everybody's doing awesome, Papa Smokes. We still been enjoying some seasonably weird, like warm weather at the moment. Back and forth, back and forth. I heard next week we're getting a little bit back to the Canadian winters, a little snow, a little bit of that minus 15 to minus 20 that we should be having around this time. But you know what? I've been enjoying seeing that sun. You know, each day it's like the sun keeps getting a little brighter, and more and more we're creeping towards those warmer seasons, and that makes me a happy man, Papa Smokes. But you know what? It makes me even happier is knowledge that we're less than 2 weeks away from Prairie Pro Wrestling's first show of 2026, Cold Hearted, on Saturday, February the 21st. Papa Smokes, I'm all kinds of hype. I'm all kinds of excited. And nothing better than next Thursday night, where we're going to be talking all about PPW's Cold Hearted, talking about what you can expect from PPW here in 2026. We've got your exclusive preview show for PPW Cold Hearted coming up. That's going to be awesome. We got the Mangler in the house, Papa Smokes. It ain't a Thursday night without the Mangler. Happy Thursday night. It's a nice shirt, Papa Smokes. Nuclear Assault. Nuclear Assault. Tell me a little bit about that shirt there, Papa Smokes.
Extremely heavy metal, extremely fast metal out of New York City. Listen to some, Munson. It's skull crushing.
Fantastic. You know, I enjoy some skull crushing metal. That's good. Zach's in the house. Zach, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you being here, my friend. And we will get to, of course, IPW, our main topic here shortly, Papa Smokes. But in the meantime, in between time, back to the obvious. PPW, Saturday, February 21st. We are 1 week away, well, just over a week away as of Saturday. Yes, Papa Smokes, what are you looking forward to most of all going into the big Prairie Pro Wrestling show?
Well, the thing that's been on my mind the most about this show is what a long haul it has been since the last show, Seasons Beatings, at the beginning of December.
Mm-hmm.
I know that February is kind of a shorter month, but it's been almost, the better part of 3 months almost since this show. Just the way the dates work out, we usually run bi-monthly kind of thing, but this one's had a bit of an extra stretch. So I know that a lot of the PPW Nation are just like me, counting down the weeks and days until this show finally comes. Cold Hearted, probably a very apt name for this show.
Yeah.
Our fans will be cold hearted and cold fingered waiting outside for this, but they always do, and they always show up in droves. I'm expecting a huge crowd at this. I really think everybody needs their fix of PPW wrestling.
And one other thing you forgot, Papa Smoke, they'll be cold brewed all night long. That's those cold brews that they're going to be having, enjoying the show. But yes, Papa Smokes, I can let you know the tickets are going like crazy. The seats are all 100% sold out. You want a seat? Too bad. Wait for the next show. If you want to be there live, though, we still have got a little bit more room for you. So anybody in the Saskatoon area coming up on February the 21st, reach out to Prairie Pro Wrestling, because guess what? If you order now, you go online and you order now, $15 to get yourself into a live pro wrestling show. And if you show up at the door and want to stand out in that bitter Saskatchewan gross cold and hope to get one of the final spots in there, you're going to have to pay $20. That's almost the price of a drink ticket, people. I am saving you the drink ticket price on February the 21st by getting your tickets today. Hey, it's Astrid up in the house. Astrid, thank you for joining us here tonight. Astrid and Ned just covered the MLW Battle Riot there on Tuesday night, Papa Smokes, and we thought we would throw out our own kind of battle royal party here. You know, the Battle Riot's a great show, 40 people, anything goes. It's always a great time. Astrid was there live. Go check out Taking Over to find out more about that experience. But Papa Smokes, we're going to talk about our friends in New Zealand. They got a little battle royal of their own, though they like to call the Eliminator. But before we even talk about that matchup, before we even talk about the rules of that matchup, I'm going to hand it over to you, sir, because I know you want to do a little bit of the lay of the land, a little bit of the history of New Zealand. So take it away.
Absolutely, Munson. Now we've talked about New Zealand and some of the geographical uh, interest points and all that. This show this time was in Auckland, New Zealand. So we're going to talk about Auckland just a little bit. It used to be the capital of New Zealand until 1865 when the capital was changed to Wellington. Auckland is one of the few places in the world that recently used the pigeon post. So this is messages sent by live pigeons. Usually supplies requests would be written on flimsies, they call them. Little pieces of paper. Oh, isn't that neat, eh? The pigeon post back in the late 1800s. Auckland is home to one of the world's tallest man-made towers and also the tallest tower in the southern hemisphere. This is called Sky Tower. It is 328 meters tall or 1,075 feet. Not bad. It's part of a casino complex. Now, I like this fun fact about Auckland, New Zealand. It's called the Coast to Coast Walkway. It is 16 kilometers long. It is a trail through the city. And you can walk in less than 4 hours between a major ocean and a sea. That is the Pacific Ocean and the Tasman Sea. Can you imagine that, Munson? 4 hours you could walk between two major bodies of water like that. How very, very cool that is. Auckland's nickname, belying its nautical place in the world, known as the City of Sails, with two major harbors, the same two areas I was just talking about, Pacific Ocean and Tasman Sea. So there's a high density of boats, hence the City of Sails. Auckland has the largest Polynesian population in the world. Quite a lot of its people come from elsewhere in the southern hemisphere, most notably Samoa, Tonga, Cook Islands, Niue, and Fiji. We just talked to someone from Fiji recently, Jayrilla, right? He's a Fiji
Gonna
boy.
be talking about him tonight too.
Absolutely. And then my favorite fact about Auckland, New Zealand, there are over 50 volcanoes all around the city. This is within 1,000 square kilometers, but 50 volcanoes, some thought to be semi-active, but none have actually erupted in this century. North Head and Mount Victoria are the two most notable volcanoes in the Auckland area. Isn't that crazy, Munson? From guys who live out here in the Canadian prairies, nothing too significant, nothing too dangerous sounding, nothing too exciting. Very nice topography out here too. But imagine having 50 volcanoes in your city. It's absolutely wild. New Zealand continues to fascinate me.
I mean, I love it. I mean, again, I want to see it for myself one of these days, Papa Smokes. I swear, like I really do. Like, you know, I feel like I want to be a little bit more cultured and to be able to get out and travel and see a lot of these things, especially when we talk about them. Yeah, it's a very fascinating country, first of all, and Auckland, very fascinating place as well too. And man, do they pump out some great pro wrestlers? Like, I mean, we said, you talk about Jayrilla originally coming from Fiji. We talked to him in a recent interview. You can go back and check that out. And then coming over to New Zealand and making this massive impact on the pro wrestling scene out here as well too. And heavily tonight, that's a lot of what we're going to be talking about here tonight. A lot to mention about Jayrilla in particular. But yeah, New Zealand is such an awesome place, Pop Smokes. I get excited every time we review any show out of New Zealand.
So interesting to learn about and so fun to have made some friends from there. Not only Jayrilla and James Shaw, but another guy we'll be talking quite a lot about tonight, Jake Sheehan, told us some interesting stuff about New Zealand as well. And its wrestling scene, which has been healthy for a long time. And I imagine that Australia and New Zealand have really the two major concentrations of wrestling companies down in the South Pacific there. Now, I imagine some pro wrestling goes on in Samoa and Tonga and Fiji and some of those other island nations, but I don't really know all that much about it. We'll have to ask somebody But I imagine some of those people that come to New Zealand and Australia, for that matter, can really get involved in some of the great, vibrant wrestling companies they have in those two countries.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be cool to explore more worldly wrestling companies as well too. It's almost like we need to take a trip around the world here eventually, Papa Spoke. So, something that might have to happen inevitably here on the show. But let's talk. We got
Hell
a
of an
lot to
idea.
talk about. We got a lot to talk about here on this program. Not
Yeah.
a lot of matches, just an abundance of things to talk about throughout this entire card. And man, this was a hell of a card, man. This was fun. This was a lot of fun. So buckle up, everybody, because we start the night off. Speaking of Jake Sheehan, first and foremost, talk about an MVP of this entire evening, and we're going to explain why in just a moment, so stay tuned. But in the opening matchup, Jake Sheehan taking on Sir Mr. Burns, who is going around as the most defensive pro wrestler. Is that the term there, Bob Smokes? But I think you might have pointed out a little thing on social media recently that history might prove it was somebody else, and he is now the second, right? The second most offensive, as you said.
Well, yeah, my tweet was there was a tweet by a wrestling historian that proclaimed Fujiwara as the world's greatest defensive wrestler of all time. But I had it so fresh in my mind. I mean, I had to just give Sir Mr. Burns a little nod there. Maybe someone from the present is overtaking the greatness of the past. Certainly in Burns's mind, he's the number one defensive wrestler in the world.
Yeah. And you know what? When we first reviewed one of these shows and I saw Sir Mr. Burns for the first time, I thought, man, this guy irritates me. Like his outfit irritates me. Like he's got this blue singlet and it looks like he's wearing a pair of tighty whitey underwear over top of a blue singlet.
Or diapers. Looks like diapers.
I know. I'm like, why are you doing this, bro? Like, why? And the more I think about it, I'm like, because I'm not supposed to like this guy. This guy's supposed to annoy me. And that's what makes him as good as what he is. Aside from the fact that he can get shit done in the ring as well, too. Like the guy is a great wrestler, great defensive wrestler, too. One of the greatest, I hear. But they put on this opening match with Jake Sheehan, and the stipulation to this thing that was set up in the first place is whoever wins this matchup draws the number 30 spot in the Eliminator match that happens immediately after this thing, and whoever loses goes number one. So you imagine the longer this first match stretches out, the more toll it's going to take on both guys. But one dude gets to go to the back, sip some Gatorade, maybe a beer if he's that type of guy. Who knows? The other guy has got the task of having to try to fight 29 other guys. And the Eliminator, we're going to get to that in a minute, doesn't play out like a standard battle royal either. So there's more twists in this tale here. But this matchup opening things up, I thought right away, I'm like, man, they're totally going with Burns getting 30. Like they're going to go for the heat on this one. There's going to be some sort of shenanigans that cost Jake Sheehan. And it's going to be like, man, Jake Sheehan has got the world against him. He's going to be that guy who has to be the baby face fighting from underneath throughout this battle royal. I think part of me also kind of figured it out by the fact that Jake had showed us a clip after we interviewed him here on the show. And based on the fact that he was showing us the very beginning of the program, which featured him in it already, I kind of was like, hey, wait a second. I can put two and two together, Mr. Sheehan. I believe you're not making it out of this opening matchup as the victor. So we know Tyler Ernst got himself involved, creating a distraction that put Jake off his game. And then Sir Mr. Burns gets a handful of the tights, rolls up Jake, steals the victory, and earns himself the number 30 spot in this matchup. Great way to open this card, by the way. These are two great professional wrestlers. It really got the energy going, and it was something that had a story behind it that prepares for what was to follow immediately after.
For sure. And I liked this confrontation between such a pure heel and such a pure babyface. I mean, I love Jake Sheehan as a babyface. Munson, he's a friend of mine. I've talked to him online before a few times. Jake Sheehan, just really, really good babyface. Love his presentation. Handsome guy, good body, in shape, cool gear. The fans like him. It's very easy to like Jake Sheehan. Then Sir Mr. Burns comes out with those tidy-whitey, diapery looking things that say "Vote for Burns" on the back, and he's doing that walk and that strut. And I mean, this started off the card so well because the fans were irate.
Oh
I
yeah.
think they feel the same thing that you and I do. It's from all the analysis of all the cards that we do. It's hard not to just get your preconceived notions and be analytical about the whole thing. But Sir Mr. Burns annoys me. I mean, Sir Mr. Burns gives me the creeps. And that's how effective he is as a heel. He just gets under your skin as that annoying, weird looking guy. And I like the way his on the Tron when he comes out, the video screen says, "Give our country back to us." Now,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into the whole political thing of what perhaps that means, but that's some heel heat probably right there if
Yep.
you're following the news in New Zealand and stuff. But at any rate, him and Ernst come out to a chorus of boos. Sheehan, well known, very popular in IPW, and don't forget, Jake Sheehan has won the Eliminator before,
Mm-hmm.
but coming in at number 30, which is a
Yeah.
huge, obviously a huge advantage. So
Yeah.
the fans aren't sure what to think of this, except that the heels are determined. They've got Tyler Ernst on the outside. He's obviously not going to just stand there and watch. He's getting himself involved in the action. There's referee distractions, there's low blows, there's all kinds of shenanigans going on. But within 10 minutes, this first match is over and the heel has gone over. So Sir Mr. Burns going to enter this eliminator in the prized spot of number 30. And poor Jake Sheehan, who's taken quite a bit of damage in this match, going to get no rest whatsoever, has to start right into the eliminator. All right, we've got a nice story going here. We've got a struggle for the babyface setup. We've got an opportunity for the heel, which the fans do not like. This is looking good for the eliminator. All right, nice way to start.
You bet. And we'll talk about that in a second. We're just going to say hello to Blair first. Blair dropping in from the
Yeah,
Great Maker
Blair.
Wrestling Podcast
Thank
and
you.
Winnipeg Pro Wrestling. Go check them out. Go check out Blair's
Yes.
channel as well, too. Follow his work. Great dude. Yeah, let's talk about that eliminator, Papa Smokes. And I wrote down all 30 entrants in the order of when they came in because I was like, you know what?
Do.
We're gonna talk about this a little bit more in depth because we got the time. There wasn't an abundance of matches on this card. So let's roll through this. I'm going to say some names. Some it's like, okay, we won't spend a lot of time, but the ones that really had a little bit more depth behind what went on in there for them, we'll definitely go a little bit further into. So we start off with obviously with Jake Sheehan. Number 2, Liam Fury, who we've seen over in SPW, one of the trainers over there, someone who's been around for quite some time. We know that this guy is going to do great work in there. Liam Fury, awesome. Glad to see him. Should I go through the whole list or do you want to go one by one? We can talk about it as we go.
Let's talk about some of the progression of what happened through this, maybe, because it was neat at the beginning that Jake Sheehan and Liam Fury know each other all too well from the New Zealand wrestling scene. So what a cool and what a hot way to start the Eliminator with two very experienced veterans, two guys that are very, very over with this crowd. And they just put on one heck of a wrestling match and a good open to the Eliminator, all kinds of action.
You bet. Yeah, going on from there, we then have the entry of the man with the most punchable face in New Zealand, Will Stone, making his way down to the ring. And this is when I clicked in. I was like, this is the clip that Sheehan showed us. As soon as Will Stone came out, and I'm like, I remember him showing this to us after we spoke to him live. And this was the clip because he's like, you want to see how funny it is, how quick we got Will Stone out of this matchup. And Will Stone comes down with that gloating arrogance in front of the fans, and they're ready to kill him. Like, just the look of him makes people want to jump this guy.
Yes.
And he goes, and with all that arrogance, he steps into the ring, and immediately Sheehan with that double-edged knife chop right across his chest, and he goes flipping over the top. I don't think I've seen fans celebrate that heavily at an independent show, even for a championship change that they've been longing for. Will Stone getting dumped in record-breaking time by Jake Sheehan popped that crowd like you wouldn't believe.
Well, in some some heels, the fans love to hate them. They want to see more of them. They like their performing. They like everything. Will Stone is one of those ones that's just, it's almost too much heat. They hate him and they don't want to see him. It's still good heat in a wrestling sense. I mean, he's not going overboard with his heel tactics so that they're actually getting pissed off. But I mean, they hate him. They hate his face. They hate his demeanor. They hate everything. And he took one of those Jake Sheehan chops. Man, another props out to Jake Sheehan. Who has chops that his remind you of Munson around here? El
Yeah.
Assassino, an expert of chest chopping. Holy cow. Was
Man,
that a big one? And
him
it
and
just landed perfectly.
Him and Liger later on, actually, man. Liger throws some heavy chops as well, too, man. That was dangerous looking. Number 4, we had in Horace. Again, it's not Horus. It's Horace.
We were taught by Selena how to say it.
I know. But Horace over here is, hey, you know what? Were you just lurking the whole time while we were just shit talking you a couple of moments ago there, sir? Thank you for joining in. It's all good on stream. We appreciate you. We appreciate your work. You're a fantastic dude. But yeah, we got Horace that came in next into this thing, and I'm thinking to myself, man, they put some big names off the start, like right away, to fill this ring to really ramp up that excitement. Horace, obviously, one of the main eventers in the company, so interesting to see him draw in an early spot.
For sure. And another big guy, another guy that the fans have seen quite a few times. They know him. He's big, and he's going to be one of the potential guys that might be kicking around at the end of this thing. You know, another big guy that came in very soon after that was, please forgive my pronunciation. I'm not a New Zealander. I don't know how to say it, but Kaha.
Yeah, I think that's how it was.
Okay, I hope that's close enough. Looked like it was his IPW debut. This guy looked like he showed some promise. Very physically gifted, very strong, and some big strikes going on in there. He looks good.
Well, maybe Sir William in the chat there can confirm if he got the pronunciation right. But yeah, he did look great. Up next, Up next, we had Joseph Cruz. We've seen Joseph Cruz made a debut recently. He's been kind of hanging around with the Jack Maximum and Perfect Peter Parr as of late. Got him almost like they have him there and he wants to fit in, but they're like those guys. They're the mean girls. These two guys, right? Like they're the ones that are picking on this poor man. And I started to think to myself, man, his trajectory is starting to remind me of Riley Cruz from PPW. Like this comes in, nice baby face kind of look to him and everything. He's really energetic, wants to get going. You know that he's going to develop over time and everything like that. And he's getting himself involved with something right away with the company. Obviously, the company sees a lot of potential in him. There was a lot of fun stuff with him throughout this entire thing, especially when the rest of his teammates, as I guess we'll call them for a lack of better terms, show up. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, Joseph Cruz, very, very interesting young fella in this company.
I think so too, and to call him baby face is one thing, but he has an actual baby face. The guy looks pretty young. He looks like a teenager, so that's good that he's getting involved at such a young age at this point. But it's an interesting little storyline too, because he doesn't look like he should be hanging out with the heels. He doesn't look like he should be with Jack Maximum and the other guys. He looks like he's the little guy in the lunchroom at school that wants to hang out with the bad kids. So he goes over and stands near them kind of and hopes that they will accept him. That's the kind of vibe I got off of it. And the heels are kind of accepting him, but kind of putting him through the ringer a little bit too. Maybe seeing if he's fit and worthy of joining their faction, or maybe just screwing with him, right? Like putting him down and making him do some stuff. They had him outside the ring doing squats for a lot of this match, which was quite funny. But you could see after a while, after 10, 15 minutes, you could see the look on Cruz's face was kind of like, oh shit, I don't know how many more of these I can do. They haven't told me to stop yet.
Oh man, poor kid. I'm watching him do that. Like, I'll give him all the credit in the world. To have the stamina to do as many as he did in the first place is quite impressive. So, I mean, good on him. But yeah, I mean, they're finding a great way to adhere him to the audience, and I think that it's things like that too. Having him be that guy that's getting picked on, but he's trying so damn hard, right? And he goes and does the squats and he follows instructions. But you know, it'll lead to something more. We know that. Lots more to talk about. We got Izzy Kinlock came in after this. And then another one after that, Nico Bell. We know Toothless Nico Bell we've seen recently at SPW. Babyface over on this side of the fence. And I start to think he's got that hockey gimmick. And I think I might have said it before. It kind of reminds me of what the hooligan is. Like the hooligan is the footy gimmick. And it doesn't matter if he's heel or babyface. The only thing that changes is whose ass he's kicking. And that's kind of the impression I get with Nico Bell as well, too. Over in SPW, he's a heel. Over here, he's a babyface. Does his style change up a whole lot? No. Just who he's kicking the shit out of changes up. That's really the difference.
For sure. And we can relate to a hockey character as well. I mean, the Olympics just started today. I watched Canada beat the living breaks off of Czechia today. And, we don't care who we're coming up against. Hockey's a rough game. It's a game for real men. It's very violent and it's very fast and crushing in its checks and all the rest of it. So I like this toothless, perfect hockey gimmick. Comes out with some pads and a stick and all that. Wild for New Zealand, but as a Canadian, I'm loving it.
Yeah, I dig it. Up next, the lights go out, and out comes Pariah. We've seen this introduction as of late. Guy comes out looking like he's an asylum, somebody who's been in an asylum for years. He's done something bad. He's not in the regular C block when it comes to his prison sentence. This guy is in an isolation block of some kind of, because he's a dangerous man. And when those cuffs come off, man, he's dangerous inside that ring, and he looks scary. He's a big man, and he looks scary, and he got some shit done. This is when a lot of people started to get dumped out of this match, or a few people got dumped out of this match once Pariah made his arrival.
Yeah, Pariah comes in looking good, kind of a Hannibal Lecter kind of thing going on with the mouth guard, so he's not biting people and stuff like that. He goes into the homicidal frenzy right off the bat, starts tossing guys out. And Munson, I don't know if you recognize this guy, but commentary even told us he used to be the ref in IPW.
Yeah, they did mention that. So, but yeah, I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, well, I mean, if you're going to get the nails gimmick from the 1990s correct, at least you've done it with a big man that can actually move. But yes, up next into this matchup, we had Kurt Brown joining the fold. And then, as we said, Jack Maximum, Perfect Peter Parr, back-to-back join the fold. They get in there, and now it's a three-man advantage, right? Them with Joseph Cruz can get things done. But then Mighty Maya shows up, and she has something to say about those boys, and make sure Peter Parr and Jack Maximum are no longer in this matchup. And man, Mighty Maya, she is really staking her claim in IPW as of late. Like, she is getting out there, kicking a lot of ass and taking a lot of names.
Yeah, I'll say it. We've seen her before in some ladies matches here, and I like the way IPW always includes at least one woman in their Eliminator Battle Royal kind of thing. Mighty Maya proving that she belongs to be there, no problem. She had some eliminations too, including Parr and Jack Maximum as well. Some big established guys there. So again, IPW putting some respect on Mighty Maya, not only including her in that, but giving her some spots and giving her a couple of nice eliminations just to help get her over.
Yeah, you bet. Up next, another recent debut in IPW. We had Raven join the fold. Raven, very exciting, very unique look. Spoke very highly of Raven's singles match with Mighty Maya. And again, you were to go and watch, they did the Live in Hamilton show. There was actually a rematch between the two of them as well, too. So Raven's got a couple of matches under their belt. And Mighty Maya has been, going up in the rankings as well too, but also being able to work with some of the new talent and usher them in quite well. Next, Ringo Ryan enters the ring. Ringo Ryan, we've seen a lot of in IPW New Zealand, comes over from the UK and recently turned heel turn for Ringo Ryan. So now inside this matchup, Then up next, Matty Short, someone who I don't know, man. What is it about Matty Short? Matty Short is one of those guys you can't help but just have some fun with, right? Matty Short is he's the fun guy. He kind of he reminds me of the reasons that we like a guy like Bud Heavy. Like he comes out, he's comical at what he does, but there's some fun to be had, and especially in this type of matchup, I really like a guy like Matty Short in a battle royal because then you amp up some fun, and he really kind of there's a bit of separation from what you've seen for a while there with some of the bigger names that were in before and some of the big people in the matchup.
Yeah, I agree. The comedy wrestling isn't completely to my tastes all the time, Munson, but I also find Matty Short to be very good at it, and he's a lot of fun, and he brings an energy to the crowd, and from the kids in the crowd, they love him. So another guy he reminds me of is, since we were just mentioning WPW, Winnipeg Pro Wrestling, a few minutes ago, Sammy Peppers comes out with that same kind of an energy, pure babyface, pure fun, a little bit of dancing, a little bit of hip work and all that stuff. Matty Short is a good time coming in at number 17, and the fans love him, the kids love him. Good time. He's good at what he does.
Yeah. And we had Connor King entered the fold after that. And my cats apparently are having a battle royal of their own over there. Then we had Troy Daniels, followed by the deal Dal Knox, who we just seen recently return to IPW, a legend of the area. And we were talking about him earlier, Liger, man. He comes in, and that we heard Jayrilla talk about how hard that guy can slap. And slap he did. He's a big man, and those are some heavy ass chops. I ponder which one I would have more trouble taking, Liger's or Sheehan's. Both of them look like they hurt a lot.
Yeah, very much so. And the other part of what I found interesting about these entrants was Dal Knox. They've talked about him a lot. We haven't seen a whole ton of his work, even though he's one of the very celebrated veterans of the New Zealand scene. I really think he's good. From the few matches we've seen, granted, he's a veteran. He's in there doing the stuff that he's done all throughout his career, but he's really slick, and his moves look so good. His in-ring is awesome. He's got a really nice charisma all about him, and I can see why the fans get behind him. Dal Knox gets my stamp of approval, and he hit a big move, which I guess must be his finisher in that the Knox out, and it's kind of like a backstabber, double knee backbreaker kind of thing. Woo, did that ever look good? That was one of the best moves of this whole Eliminator Battle Royal thing, was that right in the middle of the ring. Made a huge pounding sound from the ring. His opponent sold it really well, went flying that back up into the air, and then a big back bump. That just looked tremendous. Thumbs up to Dal Knox for that one.
You bet. That was awesome. We had Tyler Ernst joining the fold next. He's another big man, of course, too. Seen quite a bit throughout this entire night. Vinny Dunn, Kurt Chaos. We had Barry Burrito come out for a little bit of comedy, I guess, there with the lucha mask on. Spartan comes out next. Another big name. We've seen the feuds between him and Horace lately. That bloody finish to their dog collar matchup was just absolutely tremendous. So we know business is picking up here. Then Xander Taylor. Sorry. Yeah.
Spartan won the Eliminator in 2023, so 2 years ago. Interesting.
Yeah. And with a late number like this, you got to wonder. So next we had Xander Taylor, who we saw debut recently. And we liked what we saw from this boy already. And he went in there and he made some impact. His getting eliminated, I think, made a whole lot of sense. He was outsmarted by a veteran wrestler by making a silly move, and it made him use his own momentum to send himself over the top rope. I thought this was a very wise choice for getting Xander out, but he got to shine really, really well for his time that was in the ring.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. It was well booked the way they brought him in later, but he was dominating due to his size. He's another young-looking guy. Like, he's got that real baby face. He's a heel, but he has a baby face, a young guy's face. But a thick boy. Ooh, he's a big boy. I wonder how much that guy weighs and how how tall he is. So they have him in there. He's pushing around the rest of the guys in this eliminator. But then Pat Shisk gets in. Ooh, he's big and strong also. There's a lot of beef. The New
Oh,
Zealand got a
yeah.
lot of big wrestlers down there, and they were slapping back and forth. And I love the confrontation between those two.
Yeah. Yeah, and we just before Pat Shisk, Jordan McCallan was in the match, and then of course number 30, Sir Mr. Burns enters the fold. So how this works? So okay, so everybody, just so you know, this isn't a standard battle royal. We get over the top, eliminates an opponent until we're down to 2. Then it becomes what they call the match beyond. I like this touch. Throw to the old war games, the match beyond the war games. They do the match beyond the eliminator. Once you get to the final 2, it becomes a one-on-one singles matchup. So already we're getting the rematch between Sir Mr. Burns and MVP Jake Sheehan. God damn, man. This guy went through that first matchup, through over an hour of this eliminator battle royal, and then him and Mr. Burns put on a banger of a matchup here to follow it up as well too. And yes, Sir Mr. Burns again has the distraction. Tyler Ernst comes in, distracts the referee. Low blow from Sir Mr. Burns, and he steals the win again. He is your victor of the eliminator. But man, the story told to get there, to have Jake Sheehan and Sir Mr. Burns open the show, go through the eliminator match, go to the match beyond, put on a banger in that matchup, and still get all this heat on Sir Mr. Burns, but make Jake Sheehan look like a goddamn hero in the process because he got cheated twice, but he fought with so much goddamn heart to get there. And I think it clocked in around 90 minutes or so, the total amount of time that Sheehan was wrestling in that night, if not more.
Oh, it had to be something like that. And cheers to Jake Sheehan. You know, Munson, he's a personal friend of mine, by the way. But cheers to Jake Sheehan. What a heroic effort he made this night. And it's not like he was okay. He did that opening match against Mr. Burns, kind of 10 minutes or so, but that's a full-on match. Then the entire eliminator match going from number 1 and getting by God only getting to the end to be one of the last 2 guys in there. And it's not like he was laying outside the ring, selling for long periods, sitting in a corner for a long time. No one can blame a guy for doing that. You got to be able to have some rest while the other guys are fighting and all that. But Sheehan was active this entire time, speaks to the training he must do. His physique is looking awesome, but his cardio must be tremendous because he was drenched in sweat. He had been chopped and slammed and everything all the way through that. Imagine the night of that show afterwards in the next couple of days, man. He must have been sore. But what a night of work and what a showing for the fans. So Sheehan embodies perfection in the baby face, right?
Yep.
He has confidence in his own abilities, and he's gonna try and win it on his own. No interference, no rule breaking, no cronies outside the ring helping him, no nothing. He's a babyface that believes in himself. And once again, by God, he almost got it done through this entire ordeal. Still, Sir Mr. Burns needs to cheat to win.
He does, and he now will have that eliminator contract allowing him to cash in at any time over the next year up until the end of the next eliminator event to cash in for a championship opportunity. That's his choice what championship that is too. That does not necessarily mean it has to be the heavyweight championship, but by default, a lot of people tend to go for the big prize. That's just the way it is. So we also got a couple of more matches we got to get to before the main event here too, Papa Spokes.
Can I bring up one last point about after this battle royal was finished here? A shout out the awesome New Zealand fans once again for one of their chants at Sir Mr. Burns. You're still bald. You're still bald. Oh, love it. If fans remind me of our local fans up here in Canada, absolutely love to hear good stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome. Really, you had to go through all that, and then that's the chant they give you. That's perfect. Perfect dig at them. Next matchup, we got a tag team matchup. It is Jungle Fury taking on the former tag team champions New Blood. Again, this is a solid tag team matchup. They needed something a little bit different to take it away from what they had done. We had 2 singles encounters plus the eliminator, so tag team matchup, absolutely perfect timing on this card. We know New Blood still, I mean, they're bitter about losing those tag belts. I would be too. So they're going to want to have their revenge on Alex Savage and Will Stone eventually. Though they gotta earn that place back. And going in there with Jungle Fury, good solid tag team match, good time on this thing, and they pick up the victory. So again, in the back of everybody's minds, that rematch with New Blood and Alex Savage and Will Stone, it's got to be around the corner eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. And I liked where this match was put on the card. It was kind of like a little palate cleanser from the Eliminator match. It was like, we're going to get back to standard wrestling matches. So we got a tag team match. No belts, no particularly fiery feud going on here or anything. This is just 2 tag teams who want to get back in that championship picture, who want to get close to getting a shot again. So we got New Blood versus Jungle Fury. This thing went about 12 minutes, which is a nice time for a tag team match. It was typical. It was good tag team wrestling. The one guy in Jungle Fury got trapped in the ring by the heels, worked over for a long time. New Blood, very good, very solid tag team. Quick, frequent tags, lots of tandem work using the 2 against 1, which is, of course, the cornerstone of tag team pro wrestling. There was there were some good moves in this. There was a good old-fashioned airplane spin. Like to see that. Haven't really seen too many people use that since Roddy Piper. There was a nice spinning backbreaker used in this, and I like the way David Dunn on commentary said, "Oh, Jesus." After that one, that sounded pretty good. I gotta borrow that one. That's a really good one. I thought Astro from Jungle Fury was quite good. When he started to make a comeback, his facials and his interactions with the crowd, the yelling really, really just brought them out of whatever they were in. It brought them right heavily into this match. Really, really good. But of course, New Blood double team their way to a pinfall. So you got to think that's in the back of everybody's minds. Now they have to be close to #1 contenders or possibly #1 contenders for the tag team title in IPW here. So a match, no particular heat or crazy feud or anything going on, but this is setting one of the pieces towards the tag team title drama that they're going to set up over the next 1 show, 2 shows, 3 shows. We'll see.
See how it goes. Alex Savage and Will Stone do make an appearance in this when the commentary lets us know. Oh yeah, Alex Savage has the Eliminator contract from last year and has till the end of this show to cash that in. And it's like, oh, does he? And I'm like, there ain't a whole lot left on this show left to go. So we'll see what happens. Up next, we had the 5-time IPW Women's Champion Megan Kate come out. She wants to offer an open challenge she got by not just one woman, but 2 women, Papa Smokes. Both Amber Saint and Candy Lee make this a triple threat match for the IPW Women's Championship. Megan Kate, obviously very confident in what she does. She's very good. There's a reason that she's been 5-time IPW Women's Champion. We've seen Amber Saint a fair amount. She does really well as well, too. Candy Lee, I think we might have seen one of Candy Lee's matches before, possibly, or maybe I have before at some point in time. But the ladies did a good job. Again, like you say, by having another match that differentiates itself from the other matches on this card is what made this card so damn good. And we got a triple threat match. We got a ladies match. We got them putting on a great spectacle here. I think the ladies did an awesome job of following up everything we had and being, what being the lead in to what was going to come for the main event as well, too. I like this a whole heck of a lot. I mean, let's call a spade. There's nothing I didn't like on this card. This whole damn card was awesome.
Yeah, this card was a whole bunch of fun, and it was looking like this match would be kind of a typical defense for Megan Cates in the New Zealand Women's Championship against Amber Saint, the Hexecutioner.
Yeah,
Like that.
that's
Her
awesome.
nickname. Like that works very well. And then when Candy Lee came out, now we've got a three-way. So this was going to be an important addition to this match, not only because we have another wrestler in it, but because now the rules are going to be changed to a triple threat, which means disqualifications are off the table now. So that will come up as being important in the finish. I like this Megan Kate being a dastardly heel. She's got her cronies out there with her. Amber Seed, I think also a heel. I'm not sure. She's got the dark kind of gothic look to her a little bit.
I think she plays up as babyface though. I think that
Okay.
she's on the babyface side. She just has that look.
Okay, I wasn't sure, but she has that look and everything. And then Candy Lee comes out. I wasn't familiar with her. I didn't recognize her. I don't think we've reviewed her before.
Okay.
But I like her presentation. She comes out in the bright colored tights. She comes out with a big smile and a positive attitude. She looks really good. And you can see that the fans want to get behind her. She didn't look
tough.
like, yeah, she is tough. She's also big and strong, but didn't seem like she was as experienced as the other two. This is the perfect place to put her in with two more experienced wrestlers. Put her in there, give her some ring time, and they put a nice little 10-minute match together here and introduced Candy Lee to all of us. Now, Megan Kate, taking advantage of these triple threat rules, is just going to realize quickly there's no disqualification in this. So her with her Harley Quinn style baseball bat, she's going to use that to her advantage. Uses the bat, gets a pinfall, successful defense for Megan Kate. But both other wrestlers in this match looking good. This was nice, and this was a nice semi-main event. Gave the women some time on this card, and also just kind of a little step right to have a women's title match right before the main event, the men's title match.
Yeah, it was a great job, great booking on this entire thing. But that brings us to it, Pops folks. It brings us to the main event of the evening. This match is scheduled for one fall.
One fall.
And it is for the IPW New Zealand Heavyweight Championship of the World. We've got on one side the undefeated, unbeaten, unmoved, absolute monster of a man and good friend of ours, Jayrilla, the great ape, on one side of the fence. And on the other side of the fence, speaking of friends of ours, Papa Smokes, he's hung out here a few times. Maybe the people of New Zealand don't love him, but we personally love him. He is the Divine Light, James Shaw, and record five-time IPW New Zealand Heavyweight Champion. Now, this thing starts off in all the best way because as Shaw gets on the microphone, you know he doesn't even have to be on a microphone to irritate people. He is so goddamn good at irritating people. They had a promo package of him before, then he gets on the microphone and those people are lynching him. And then my favorite part of all, we've heard him talk about it before. We haven't seen we saw a bit in that cage match, but his dad's involvement, and James's dad now comes out dubbed as Bishop Shaw, and I could not stop laughing. This is wrestling comedy I can get behind. James Shaw's father coming out as Bishop Shaw, that I can get a good chuckle out of in all the best ways. I loved that piece.
Oh, so awesome. And as we kind of found out behind the scenes, James Shaw's father, very supportive of James and his wrestling career, wants to be part of it, always comes and watches. I think as James had told us, it wasn't his idea, it was the boys' ideas and the bookers and such. Like, we got to get him out there somehow. Like, this guy's got some charisma and some personality to him. Getting him in the full Bishop's robes. Where did they even get that costume?
I don't know.
It looked really nice. It looked totally legit. The big cone hat and everything. It looked hilarious. But
And people
Yeah.
hated it so much. I was
Oh
just like,
yeah.
this is so
Oh
perfect.
yeah. And probably some of those fans even know him too, but so hilarious. But having James Shaw at the top of the card at in the main event spot is really, really beneficial to this company. Like you mentioned, he did a pre-tape promo outside with the golden light shining on him, the sunlight shining on him. So awesome. And did you hear what he said, Munson? James Shaw said, "The divine light will show you your true path. Will you become the champion of these heathens, these plebs, these sinners, or will you fail like every other man before you, like your fathers, like your ancestors?" Man, what an
Just
insult that is. I mean, he's insulting not only Jayrilla, but all the people before him. Like, Shaw is the master. Talk about a heel that brings that real heat where you actually do hate him. Besides, in the wrestling world, he's such a slimy con man,
oh
such a
yeah.
liar that you just can't help but hate him. Such a great promo. And then, as you mentioned, he comes to the ring, grabs a mic, wants to address the crowd, and they were just giving him the chorus of boos so that he couldn't talk for ages there. You could see the heel that James Shaw is so naturally just soaking it up. That was his standing ovation as a heel. Was just that the fans didn't want to hear one word that he had to say.
Yeah. Oh man, it was brilliant. And then we had the match on top of it. So this was cool because again, James being a top guy like he is, this wasn't gonna be your typical squash match in any way. And I wanted to see how they would handle this. They had James at first playing a little bit of that defensive wrestler type style, right? Like he kept trying to sneak his way away and get the referee to keep Jayrilla at a distance. And then he tried his tactics to break the big man down. And that's what is good about the psychology with these two guys, is that the understanding that this isn't just like a go clothesline Jayrilla and Jayrilla goes and takes a bump for it. No, that's not how they're going to play this shit. And they did a great job of doing this the way they did. And just as they're getting that momentum, right? Like just as you're like, okay, this thing's going somewhere, boom, all of a sudden Alex Savage decides to cash in his Eliminator contract, and we've got ourselves a triple threat fight here. And this is where, for one of the first times ever, the big man Jayrilla ends up on the outside of the ring, ends up taken out for a fair amount of time, and Alex Savage uses that time in the ring to beat on James Shaw and try to steal the championship away at that point. But one of my favorite shots by the camera operator down at ringside, and this is credit to the camera operator, is right after Alex Savage has Shaw in that rear naked chokehold or whatever there and everything, and lets him go. And Shaw rolls away, and you look at Alex Savage's face, and the camera's pointing straight up. And behind him, the way that it made Jayrilla look like the biggest thing on this planet, standing behind Savage, and that look of like, and even Dunn says it on commentary. He goes, "That's that look you have when you know your day just went from bad to worse." And it's Jayrilla standing behind him. And I'm like, you couldn't have had a more perfect moment. And this is the best part. This is when Jayrilla takes over. He destroys Alex Savage, pins Alex Savage to get the championship. New champion. Congratulations, our friend Jayrilla. Here's the catch. Shaw didn't lose the belt. So now you've given an opportunity for Shaw to rethink his strategy, to go back to the drawing board, and to also make that claim that Jayrilla, you didn't beat me on this night. So that is going to be in the back of the mind. You know that is building to something. Man, this is, after everything that went down on this card and me loving everything, this still stood out as a very exciting stamp on a perfect show.
Well, and on a show like this with several good matches plus that hour plus eliminator, if the eliminator match isn't the main event, you're going to need a pretty strong main event just to kind of like cement it in the fans' minds that this is the main match, the main drama that we wanted to show, the main angles that we wanted to get over. So you put the veterans, two veterans with Savage and Shaw in there against Jayrilla, not quite a veteran yet. I was wondering how they were going to do this match now because Jayrilla, from the most of the matches we watched of his, have not been very long, have been pretty much squash matches. Not so surprising when you look at the size and the intensity of Jayrilla. But this one was a little bit different because he had the slimiest heels that were going to use any tactics to get up on him. Jayrilla, when he was still fighting James Shaw at the beginning of this, Shaw, as a perfect heel, took a swing at Jayrilla, which he had no intent of connecting with, and made it look like he accidentally hit the ref. The lady ref, by the way, little shout out to that. I'd always like to see a lady ref.
Yep.
But anyway, she goes down, and now Shaw's onto Jayrilla's eyes. Oh, he's raking them. Oh, he's digging his thumbs into them. And that was something you see sometimes in wrestling matches. The rake of the eyes or the thumb of the eyes doesn't do too much damage for too long. But Jayrilla sold this. He was outside the ring. He couldn't see. And it was totally convincing spot that allowed Savage and Shaw to get some of their spots in and everything. But you knew that once Jayrilla got back in this match, there was a good chance he'd put the other two guys down, which he did. Big, giant, great ape choke slam, or the hollow earth, as he likes to call it.
Yep.
And Alex Savage is down and out. Jayrilla 1 foot on his chest with the arrogant pin like that, and there's no kick out from that. So Jayrilla, our new IPW champion, you could kind of see it coming. You had to wonder if the heels were going to put one over on Jayrilla, but no, the grade 8 strength was enough to prevail in this contest. And wow, now we got a new champion. We've got a very large, very intense champion. Who's going to be able to take the belt off of him? Very good question.
If anyone ever does, he's an undefeated man, Pop Smokes. Like, again, an undefeated man. Can you ever beat the Great Ape? We don't know. But what I do know is we're getting close to the top of the hour. So before we run out of time here, Pop Smokes, why don't you go ahead, let the people know where they can find you and what you got coming up.
All right, everybody. I can always be found Thursday nights on Ring Respect Radio. It is hosted by OLE Podcasts and the Video Bros Network. Other than that, I can be found on Elon Musk's free speech wonderland, known as X. I am at smokes_papa, and on Twitch at papa_smokes_.
There you go. And as for myself, Bobby Munson on the X, it's Real Bobby Munson, Instagram, Threads, Video Bros SK, Twitch, Video Bro _Bobby Munson, and Blue Sky, it's BobbyMunson.bsky.social. What do I got coming up this Sunday? Join myself and Andre C, potentially Ed. We'll see. On Point of View, it's your week in sports at 12 Eastern this time. Actually, we're going to be going at noon Eastern. We're going to start an hour later this time because I got something I got to take care of. But we will be with you at noon Eastern. We're going to be talking about Canada's run in the Olympics. If Ed's there, we might have to talk about America's run in the Olympics. But it definitely Canada's run in the Olympics for sure, especially that big old hockey game that we did so well in today. You can also catch myself and Bob Smokes every Saturday on the Prairie Pro Wrestling YouTube channel as part of your commentary team, and we can also catch us every Thursday here with the Mangler, of course, in the chat. Thank you, gentlemen. Congrats to Jayrilla. Thank you for being here as always, Mangler. And yes, as I said, everything right here, OLE Podcast. You can follow us on all social media. We are now a YouTube partner, so you can give us super chats, you can give us super stickers. In fact, we got our first super chat on Sunday on Point of View. Thank you to STG, you gave the first super chat to the channel. Appreciate you, my friend. Go ahead and follow us on all things, and if you got any value out of what myself and Papa Smokes brought you here tonight, check out the other shows on the channel. Go ahead, click the subscribe button down below, give us a big old thumbs up, turn on that notification bell, and let us know in the comment section below, who is your favorite all-time New Zealand professional wrestler? Let's get that conversation going. And Bob Smokes and I will see you in a week's time. Take care, everybody.